For the first time, former CIA Director John Brennan takes on President Trump's foreign policy, saying many in the world wonder if our president is reckless. He spoke at Fordham University here in New York tonight. He talked about North Korea, talked about ISIS, talked about the Russia investigation. Our own Andrea Mitchell was there and at one point took part in the questioning, as one of the headlines from this event is contained in the answer Brennan gave her.
Is it your theory of the case that there was some connection between the campaign and the Russian operation?
Well, obviously, that's a hypothetical.
Yeah.
The Russians are very sophisticated observers of the American political scene. We have been their principal adversary and nemesis for many, many years. I think almost anything is in the realm of the possible when it comes to how Russia was able to take advantage of the U.S. environment to pursue this campaign of interference in the election. And I still don't know the extent of it. I still don't know how successful they were in maybe getting people to work with them. I know that that is part of their MO. Were they successful in maybe cultivating those relationships with some? It's hard for me to believe that the Russians, as good as they are, as sophisticated as they are, a program like this, were not able to get some Americans to cooperate with them, either wittingly or unwittingly. I find it implausible.
Here with us in New York, our chief foreign affairs correspondent, Andrea Mitchell, who also happens to be the anchor of Andrea Mitchell Reports at noon Eastern each day on this very network.
Thank you.
Full disclosure, Andrea was on the Fordham campus tonight. We get a phone call from Andrea saying, clear the runway. We've got to air this stuff tonight because this was notable. Tell us about that last answer.
Well, he is saying it is implausible to think that there weren't Americans helping the Russians with the micro-targeting.
A savvy campaign.
Exactly. And as well as the Russians have studied us, and we are the main thing that they study, for them to get into these districts in Wisconsin and Michigan and to figure out how to divide our country, how to divide our people. And he talked also about how it has divided our country and it's hurt us domestically and it's hurt us internationally.
North Korea was another subject. Yeah. I was interested to hear what he said on that tonight.
Well, he said, in fact, that he is very concerned about the tweets, about hurling insults back and forth, because for the first time, Kim Jong-un, after the president's UN speech, went on camera. No North Korean leader, not his father, not his grandfather, has ever gone on television and made a statement and answered directly the United States. It's always the TV presenter, the propaganda lady in the pink dress, you know. Yeah. You've seen the image. So this is what he had to say about that. It was very ominous.
I've said that I think the prospects for military conflict on the Korean Peninsula are greater than they have been in several decades. I don't think it's likely or probable, but you know, if it's a 1 in 4, 1 in 5 chance, that's too high. And we need to do everything possible.
Is that where you'd rate the chances?
Well, yeah, I guess I would.
A 25% chance of a military conflict in the Korean Peninsula in the coming decades. That voice you heard was the experienced intelligence analyst and columnist David Ignatius.
For our viewers watching this tonight, remind us, in plain English, what's the book on Brennan? You've covered him for years. What's his reputation? What was he known for in office? Straight
shooter. And he was also, by the way, asked about the military families, and he said he worked very closely with 3 presidents, served 6 presidents, went into CIA in 1980, was station chief in Saudi Arabia, knows Yemen well. This man knows his stuff. Yeah. And also was very offended by what the president did on day 2 of his presidency, going in front of the memorial wall and speaking of the intelligence community in such disparaging ways. But that said, he said he had worked closely with Bill Clinton, with George W. Bush, and with Barack Obama, that they viewed dealing with the military grieving families, gold-starred families, with the greatest reverence, and he was very deeply disturbed by what has transpired. He said, God bless Mattis, Kelly, and Joe Dunford for being there and for being governors monitoring. Wow. The President of the United States. He's very, very concerned.
I've always thought Brennan, and I mean this as a compliment, had the bearing of a New York City precinct captain.
Well, that I think he'd be proud of that. He went to Fordham, by the way. It's no accident that he's back there on that campus. And just very briefly, Mueller has not requested an interview. He would be happy to be interviewed if he's asked. And it was Brennan CIA that first referred this whole case in July of 2016 to the FBI. And the FBI men, the best in the business, have been following the money ever since. But the frustrated senators and Congress members, the Democrats at least, on the intelligence committees, are really hitting a brick wall in this thing. And they are hoping that they can, that either Mueller or somebody will come forward and get the goods.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.